What's up, guys? Back with another video. This time is Modern Warfare 2 Search and Destroy, the real Modern Warfare 2, not that abysmal trash that Infinity Ward put out in 2022, which is the sequel to the worst Call of Duty game of all time, Camp of Duty 2019. But you're not here to hear me rant about that bullshit game or that other bullshit game. You're here to see some good old-fashioned MW2 Search and Destroy gameplay. Thanks to Merc Music putting together that Call of Duty Revival Summer Tour. And as you can see, I joined in late here. I'm spectating my teammate. Normally, I don't really want to highlight other people's gameplay because you're here to watch me because, you know, I don't really want to highlight other people. But I thought this shit was funny. I'm like, dude, we are totally losing. This dude is in spawn. They can plant the bomb and get him out, but he must be, we're just facing idiots, really. So, yeah, I thought this shit was funny as hell. Start off. You'll see here.
Good job, team. Get ready for the next
I did
round.
fast forward that clip, but I was still in disbelief. I was like, what the fuck? You gotta be kidding me. I can't believe he clutched that shit. But yeah, so move on to round 2 here. And your boy is running that MP5K silencer, Marathon Lightweight Ninja. This was like my signature setup. I just unlocked the Claymore. And yeah, so get stunned here, man. This is the days before Demi Lovato Pro, aka Stim Shot in Call of Duty. That's fucked up. Anyways, yeah, I remember in Black Ops 4 they added manually healing, and you had to in that game. But if you wanted to heal faster, you could use the Stim Shot, and of course Camp of Duty brought it into that game, and it's just been a staple. But you know, back in the day, man, if you got shot, you just had to auto heal, and you just had to wait it out and play smart, which is something I think is kind of missing these days in Call of Duty. And your boy gets owned by a Claymore. Unfortunately, I was like, no, I don't have a sit rep class, so I'm just waiting it out. Same teammate from the first round who's last alive. Yeah, he ends up getting killed by a Semtex. He's not clutch at this time, but it's all good. We end up winning the game anyways, so no worries. But yeah, man, the topic I want to talk about on this video is just how Search and Destroy hit differently in the golden age of Call of Duty compared to the current Call of Duties, and especially like the Warzone era. So like, I think a big reason why Search and Destroy was successful, I felt like more people played it back then, even like casual players that would touch it here and there, is just because it was just more fun. Obviously the social aspects, something about Search and Destroy. One thing that's really missing, which we'll never get again, is forced game chat. That is something that was a big deal. Yeah, like I know PS3 didn't have parties yet, but Xbox 360 had party chat, but they disabled party chat if you hopped to Search and Destroy. So if you're playing with a party, you go in the Search and Destroy, you know, you can only communicate to whoever's alive. So if you're alive, you can only communicate to your teammates that are alive. And if you're dead, you can only communicate to your teammates and the enemy team if they're dead, which obviously I think was pretty good. It definitely, you know, unlike now where like if you know, people who play Search, everyone's in a party or like a Discord, you know, party chat or call. So it's just like, you know, usually like, you know, and I guess, and I'm guilty of this too, of course, with my group of friends. If we play Search, we're in a Discord call. We're, you know, if one of us dies, we kind of call out like, hey, we just got killed by this location, or oh, he's up top in the building camping. So yeah, that definitely makes a big difference. But yeah, I mean, there's still trash talking in Search and Destroy, but definitely the trash talking in this era, man, was something else, and it was always fun. Another big thing I think why Search and Destroy was more successful is it's really just like the matches were shorter, and you know, I don't know if Activision or Call of Duty thinks like everyone is like unemployed, doesn't have like shit to do, man, but like a lot of us have jobs and shit. This whole like first team to win 6 rounds is just like not it for me, in my opinion. I think they should really go back to at least first to win 4 rounds, or at least make it at least first to 5. You can be in the middle, because you know, I mean, honestly, most people you know, who play the new COD, Search and Destroy, like, you know, if your team is dominating, like, you know, if you're dominating, you end up like the other team just ends up rage quitting, so it's just like no fun really. And then it ends up becoming just an unfair fight when it's like, you know, 2v6 or 1v6 or something like that. It's just like, it's not fun. I mean, I don't mind losing, and I did lose a lot, quite a bit during the session. But it was just, I was trying to get it reacquainted with the game again, but it is what it is, man. You don't win every match. But if I'm gonna get my ass whooped, I'd rather get my ass whooped in 4 rounds than in 6 rounds. It's like, man, let's just get this ass whooping over with. So anyways, last round here, man. I'm calling this Pred Missile, and I am shocked as shit that we even won this round. So I killed this dude, I popped my counter UAV, my UAV, and I do end up planting the bomb at B. I honestly thought we fucking lost this round. It was, I kind of hesitate to call it a clutch. Let's see what I'm talking about in a second. So I popped that, popped the UAV, playing a little cautiously, I ended up playing in B, and some funny ass shit happens. So I ended up becoming the last man standing. I was like, uh-oh, 1v3 clutch. Pop Claymore, and I'm on the move. And I don't have Marathon Pro, so I mantle over these like blocks like super slow. But it is what it is. Carrying gunfire, playing cautiously, and then I decided to go flank. And I know I didn't hear my Claymore pop off, so that's why I'm kind of moving quite a bit. Moving away from the bomb site. My Claymore goes off, gets a kill. And I'm thinking they're gonna probably be up top here, but he ends up being in that corner. I missed him. I honestly thought we lost, but these two dudes were just like camping so hard that they end up, they don't have enough time to defuse the bomb. We end up winning the round this way, and I got a kill right here. Look at, eat it, bitch. That was a funny ass match. I ended up playing with the same people for like about 2 hours straight this night, so it was pretty fun. Next game you're gonna see here is for Bella. And we win this one. I'll do pretty well on this match, but yeah, we're gonna kind of go through the history. I think the breaking point at which Search and Destroy kind of seemed to fell off, in my opinion. Like, I still enjoy it, but it fell off big time. Actually, the first game where it fell off was Call of Duty Ghosts. And Call of Duty Ghosts didn't even have Search and Destroy at launch. They tried doing that mode called Search and Rescue, which was kind of mid in my opinion. It was supposed to be a combination of Search and Destroy and Kill Confirm. So basically, same concept: 2 bomb sites, 1 life. Well, kind of 1 life. When you die, you're supposed to pick up. If you kill an enemy, you pick up their dog tag. They're eliminated. But if a teammate picks up the dog tag, then they get revived. So that's why it's kind of a combination between Search and Destroy and Kill Confirm. And I don't know, and honestly I didn't really like that. And then they eventually brought back Search and Destroy like I think a month later or so. But then it kind of split the player base of like people who played Search and Rescue and Search and Destroy and whatnot. And I really like Search and Rescue, and kind of like Kill Confirm. This happens to a small degree with people, like if you kill somebody and you like camp the dog tag and wait for their teammates to try to pick that shit up. Yeah, that happens, but man, even more so in Search and Rescue. So that's why I wasn't really feeling that. This dude was like fucking moonwalking or something. Major lag. This is the days of peer-to-peer connection, no dedicated servers. That was terrible. But yeah, so I think Call of Duty Ghosts did that shit. Your boy gets killed by a spawn nade. Yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts was the one that the Search and Destroy fell down because they tried doing Search and Rescue. And then Advanced Warfare came along. And, they hate Advanced Warfare for the movement and whatnot, but the main thing that I really stopped playing Search and Destroy in Advanced Warfare, mainly because this was the first game to introduce first to 6 rounds to win. Now, my understanding is that this was always like, first to 6 was always like, I guess, part of like MLG rules or whatever, competitive rules, which but that's like a very small portion of the player base that even plays it or watches that shit. I remember in Black Ops 2 League play, Search and Destroy was, first to win 6 rounds, but again, it was small. League play was kind of popular back then, but still, I think for just normal public matches, it should just be first to 4. So yeah, Advanced Warfare was the first to kind of mess with that, make it, you know, first to win 6 rounds, and then Black Ops 3 reverted it back to first to win 4. Infinite Warfare is the same. MWR obviously was the same. And I believe I can tell you for a fact, World War II and Black Ops 4 was also first to 4. And then we went back to first to win 6 with Camp of Duty 2019, which was fucking terrible. Of course, a game that took out Dead Silence, which again, who the fuck complained? Like, we complain about perks that where you can hear footsteps louder and that they can counter Dead Silence, but I've never heard anybody say, hey, you know what's the problem in Call of Duty? I mean, footsteps has always been a problem, but it's never been, to resolve it has never been, hey, let's remove the perk that makes your footsteps quieter. You know, but that game did that, and that's why that game is fucking abysmal. I hate that game. I don't like playing Search in that game. I honestly, I barely played Search for Cold War, and honestly, I really didn't make my return to Call of Duty really until like the new MW3 really, and then Black Ops 6 and Crap Ops 7. But yeah, that whole first 6, man, that shit is just not it for me. Like, I could stomach Search for a little bit when the game first comes out, but you know, like when I got things to do and day gets busier and stuff, and I come home from work, and then you know I play like a fucking half an hour Search and Destroy match, and it goes into overtime and we lose, so we get bad teammates. It's just not a fun time. It's not. So yeah, and even respawn's not that fun. So I will be making a video shortly after this one about the Black Ops 1 and 2 ports, all my concerns, a whole bunch of criticism topics, the community disregarding those ports, and but yeah, then look after that. Boy gets spawnated again. Nice subtext there. I might cut this shit out. I guess yeah, that was Claymores in this game, man, were deadly. Oh yeah, you would think that. See, this is the game where like you could have unlimited explosives, and you would think Infinity Ward would have learned, but they did not learn at all with Camp of Duty. With this game, with Camp of Duty 2019, they brought that bullshit back. Like, that too. I die though, but we do end up winning this game, thankfully. But yeah, so I definitely will be talking about Black Ops 1 and 2 ports. I got a whole lot to break down about that topic, because I'm seeing a whole lot of misinformation online. People getting their hopes up. You got other YouTubers who are just doing clickbait and just, I don't know, kind of psyching themselves up, and Activision not really doing marketing for the ports. But yeah, I got a lot to say about that. I gotta kind of write my points down. This is just more like just kind of free talk, I guess. But yeah, watch our teammates win the round for us. And I honestly thought we lost here, man, but thankfully this dude, you know, the other guy kind of comes in clutch with the striker. So anyways, man, that's it for today's video. Rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Mission accomplished. Good work.